Makati mose muri Zimbabwe kusangana zvekare pano pachivhitivhiti paTV yenyu patinenge tichikupai nyaya nemalatest updates anenge achiitika. Nyaya tinoti taure nezvayo inyaya yemafactions within factions pana Emerson Mnangagwa kuna Chiwenga nekuex CC camps. Muri Zimbabwe mambira zvakaita ndekudai so. Takaona movement yageza ichitaura nyaya dzekuprotesta vakataura zvavakataura, tikaona paane mamembers opposition achisapota nyaya dzana Geza. Right, chinhu chedu nemubvunziro umwe watoda kuti tiite pano ndokuti ivo maopposition parties edu kana vasiri aligned neZANU-PF vari kutadzawo kuitawo chinhu chavo here? Because inini I think kuti ivo maopposition acho ese anogona kunge ari aligned kuZANU-PF because hapana chavari kuitawo chavo vega chiri independently chavo chakazvimiririra. Saka zvinhu zvinonetsa izvozvo kuti vanhu vanzwisise kuti zvizvi zvamuri kuita, because opposition hatina zvatiri kunzwisisa zvamuri kuita. Right, regai tiende kuna comrade vedu ndo watanyanya kuvinga panapa vatora kuti tinzwisisane navo tichitaura nezvenyaya dzenyu. Vari kuti factions within factions in ED, Chiwenga and ex-CC camps. Some within the opposition movement leadership chose to embrace the Geza protest and were then counted by Team Chiwenga discreetly. There are constraints in them coming out publicly to declare this. Yet they should not be. They should be entitled to chart their own path politically, freely and independently. So we now have some ex-CC figures in Mnangagwa's faction championing 2030 and some in Chiwenga's camp defending the constitution, which presents a degree of tension, awkwardness, and unpleasantness. We have got factions within faction, jostling for power, trinkets, and shaping the ruling party succession battle. So muri Zimbabwe ndofunga mazvinzwira zvinhu zvatiri kutaura panapa. Ndofunga munhu wese ane chaabata pane zvatiri kutaura panapa. Munyika yeZimbabwe muri kudiwa vanhu vari serious, inoita vanhu vasiri serious. Ndiwo chekutanga ichocho. Opposition parties edu ndofunga muri kuona zvaari kuita. Kana kune vamwe vakasununguka vanokwanisa kurwisana nechinhu ichi, munobuda pachena kuti isusu tinokwanisa. Movha amaita se movha matsvagirwa zvekuita kuti muitewo izvo zvekutongawo nyika, because tinenge taneta nema-old faces. Izvo tinokutendai nekutera kwenyu.
This one is very difficult for me to comment on because utterances by Chabangu, sometimes you wonder whether he's taking the peace out of the citizens themselves by insulting their intelligence or understanding them well enough to know that their political acumen is amiss. Because I don't see why you need Chabangu to define what is and what is not. It's like you knowing what something means until Chabangu says otherwise. You start to question what you know. Most political parties, once you affiliate with another political party by default, they expel you. So it doesn't matter where you've ended up, they just expel you from their party if that was his headache. But there is a resignation letter that was even public. So I don't understand how he understands a person's right to associate and disassociate, which questions what does Chabangu understand about the constitution, not of his party, of Zimbabwe. He cannot force association. By Chamisa declaring that he belongs to somewhere else, he has disassociated with something else. Unless that party where Chabangu is allows to be dually And I don't understand what Chabangu has a problem with, because if someone has gone into a movement uh, and someone is in another political party, I don't understand what Chabangu has an issue with. I can belong to a trade union. I can go and belong to a union ekuchechi yedu. I can go and belong to the a movement somewhere else and also belong to a political party. I don't understand what the headache is. He just needs to consult the Constitution of Zimbabwe, which is supreme, not the constitution of a political party. Nelson Chamisa reserves citizenship rights, number one. Then he adopts other restrictions based on what he affiliates with. But those affiliations cannot construct rules that are outside of what the Constitution of Zimbabwe say, because it is supreme, the Constitution of Zimbabwe. So if Chamisa comes out and says, let's even assume this is not another political party, by default, he is disassociated with, and it's up to Chabangu's party to consult its constitution and say, a member of our political party, of which their party didn't have membership to begin with, that holds the Chamisa hostage to it. He needs to produce where it says Chamisa can now no longer belong somewhere else. And if their constitution says so, just by default, expel him, not force him to still belong and say now you can't belong somewhere else. That's just ridiculous. So to me, it's a non-question anyway. Doesn't exist. It exists just because Chabangu said it. But as a matter of national discourse, it's the rubbishiest thing to bother ourselves with. Chamisa can belong and can stop belonging. The only thing he doesn't lose is his Zimbabwean citizenship rights. He belongs to a new movement now. Chabangu needs to get over himself. That's my opinion. It's a non-question.
Yeah, let's go. Ometa, do you want to say something?
No. Let's carry on. Tinana wanda uchema
Yeah,
chema
wonder.
tuzuti.
Who was the next? Who was the next? I lost you. The number.
Yeah,
Can I get
Anzan
Charlene off
problem
screen?
child takes. Rapa ndipada regan takes. I mean papa utua viva.
Okay, let's give Charin then text then Pada. Charin, the baby, the boy. Are you there?
Yeah, I think for the most part, or everything really, I agree with what Masi is saying as well, because I do not see anything in the constitution of the CCC. We are even told that that constitution was not there, so I don't get where he's getting that. What I saw a lot of people posting and say it's constitutionally not allowed. I do not get a line which doesn't allow him to do that. Even in the CCC, I do not see anything that will stop Nelson Chamisa from forming a policy. But we know this is Zimbabwe. Anything can be cooked up to try and again make Chabangu come up and destroy the opposition. So I think it's in as much as there is nothing like that, and you can see
And
that
Chabangu have powers to do that, right? To stop Chamisa to whatsoever. Yeah.
he doesn't. In my view, he doesn't. Because I don't see the basis for that argument. For example, because usually what I know, for example, in the EFF of Julius Malema, it's clear in the constitution of the EFF that if you leave the EFF and you are part of the leadership and you join another organization, which is a different political organization, you are not allowed to come back and into the leadership of the organization. It's very clear that, for example, the way Floyd has left the EFF, he has gone and created his own political party, or the way Floyd left and went to join MK, he can't come back to say, I want to join again. This is clear in the constitution of the party. But I saw Julius Malema the other day when Floyd was leaving, was actually saying something interesting to say Floyd can come back because he's not a leader of the EFF, he's a founder. He was trying to explain something that I found very wrong as well. But I'm simply trying to say, usually there is a constitutional line within the constitution of the party which explains what happens to people who are outside the party. But for Chabangu's case, we don't see that in the CCC being explained that if you leave, you have left, or if what is going to happen to you. They even say that constitution was not existing. So you then wonder where he's getting that. But I'm saying caution is important, because we have also learned that in Zimbabwe everything doesn't follow rationale. Because if you want to think about things in a very rational way, to say this one will happen this way because the basis, I mean, it's not, Zimbabwe is not the country for that. Certain things, as crazy as they are, you will find them actually being done. So I mean, it's important that also caution be taken, and people be very cautious of, maybe it won't be Chabangu to destroy Nelson Chamisa, but it can be another person who will do the same thing. So I think caution must be taken, and people must be taking these things seriously, and people must be thinking differently about how to do things. Other than that, you will find you have all the good reasons, but unfortunately, here is a nation where good reasons don't govern. So you might also just meet the price of your day and be like, what's happening here? But I hope also that Chabangu really, I pray that people like that, honestly, they understand at the very least the destruction they've caused to Zimbabwe because of things of this nature. And if they cannot think about that, I don't know, honestly, what they're thinking about, to really see how. Look at our democracy today. Look at the state of our opposition today. Look at the confusion. Look at the withdrawal of citizens from participating in elections because they can't trust these institutions anymore. And I think every Zimbabwean right now must understand that we honestly need to move beyond this politics of people who don't know how to organize themselves and organize for themselves and go on the ground and campaign and get votes if they so want leadership and participate. Honestly, we can't be doing this back and forth politics. We end up blaming individuals for things that we can see as systematic, and the end of the system is there. Honestly, we need to move beyond this policy. We want to get the best of the best into parliament. We want to see our parliaments really being filled with people that our people have voted for, because it increases the confidence of our people in these institutions, because there is nothing as dangerous to our democracy than having people who come to parliament through court decisions, through all these things. Let's have people be voted by the people, and let's have our people, have trust and confidence in these institutions. Let's have those elected going to represent the people. And I think it must be a concern for everybody, really. Those who love Nelson Chamisa and those who don't. It's not about Nelson. It's about what becomes of our institutions when they become centers of people who are not voted, people who make it to parliament through the back door and so forth. And for the sake of our democracy, not for Nelson, not for Chabangu, and even ZANU-PF itself, it must also know it's actually a benefit even to ZANU-PF to have an authentic opposition in parliament, because it helps us,
Yeah.
it helps us, all of us as a nation. Because why? When the president goes there to deliver his state of the nation, it must be critiqued by the people that are voted for. Not just, I've been reading, I don't know if it's his Twitter account, Chabangu. Every time he's just saying, as a leader of the opposition, I support this. As a leader of the opposition, there's no robustness of debate. Authenticity is cut off and all that. And I think as Zimbabweans, we honestly need to reach a point where we say enough is enough of these people who come to boycott our democracy, and see this beyond our love or hate for Nelson Chamisa or Mnangagwa, but for the sake of our democracy. Yeah.
Thank you. Master, do you want to say something from what Charlene said in 30 seconds before I move to Shamis as a new voice, new speaker, new listeners?
No, I think let's open it up and hear what other people think
Okay.
too.